YouTube, hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. It's Califex here, and I'm finally back with another one. So in today's video, we're gonna talk about we're gonna do an outlook on some of the major pairs that we usually look at. And today I decided to add Euro Aussie into the list of the pairs that we're gonna look at. Euro Aussie lately has been having a very good price action. I'm gonna remove for a while GJ. Since the price action is not really organized. It's been a bit tough to understand exactly what's going on with GJ. So maybe on the next video I'll be able to come back with GJ if you know, considering if the price action becomes a little bit more organized. Okay, so by the way, I also hope you guys are having a great 2025. Just basically making sure that you guys keep the consistency, because that's the only way we can make it in this business. And also don't forget, guys, that we have the Discord with the full SMC mastery course, and also we have the signals service as well. So I mean, it's been very good lately. You know, we've been having very good calls. If you see the Califex trading community link on the description, you can see some of the trades that I've been calling beforehand, and then the results. You know, very good trades. Mostly it's been medium time frame with some lower time frame, but it's basically the same thing. You know, that is the consistency right there, and good for prop firms, personal live accounts. So if you guys are interested, feel free to hit my DM. My contact is on the description box below. And yeah, that's it, guys. So let's start with the outlook. We're gonna start with EURUSD as we always do, and let me go to weekly time frame. So let's understand the overall higher time frame intentional bias with this pair. And basically what happens is that price came at this monthly supply zone, and if we're on the weekly, we can see that we had a weekly change of character, and then price came back to do the mitigation. Then we have a second break of structure, and price just came into this zone right here. This is like a supply zone. Now if I use the fib from this high all the way to this low, we can see that price came around 78.6 fib zone, above 61.8, which is basically the golden zone. And what I'm expecting to see is from this zone, price to continue to push down just to maintain the overall weekly bearish order flow. So we're considering that price came to our weekly supply zone. Next thing we can do is drop down to 4 hour, or we can go to the daily time frame. I mean, we can go to the daily or 4 hour time frame. So in this case, I'll go to 4 hour, which is our higher time frame as an intraday trader. We're gonna look at 4 hour. So if we look at what's going on the 4 hour, if you look left, we can see that we had this bullish order flow high, then this low, and then this high, this low, and then price ended up coming above the previous high, created the new high, and then finally we had this this is like a swing change of character, right? So considering that price takes out the previous swing low, and we have seen the shift from bullish to bearish right here. So that's when price finally took out this swing low right here. So basically right here, when I marked this actually was on the 2 hours time frame. I ended up considering a decisional pullback before it took out this previous high. So price had pulled back before it started the move all the way up to create a new high, and price ended up breaking that low as well as this swing low. So we can see that price taps that weekly supply zone, and now we have this hourly change of character to the downside, showing that, you know, we have shifted from bullish to bearish. So as we know, change of character usually is just the first sign of a bearish of a reversal. It's not a confirmation. Eventually I would love to see price coming back to somewhere, let me use the fib real quick, from this high all the way to this low. I would love to see a pullback at least around 61.8. so let's say we have this supply zone sitting up here, so that would be the zone that I would love to see some reaction before we have the continuation to the downside. Okay, so but this is on the hourly time frame. So if you drop down, for example, to M30, or let me go to maybe M15, we can use the M15, no problem. On the M15, what we see is that the structure is currently bearish right here. So we had this nice liquidation of a previous high, and we can see price failed to close above. So that was buyer's exhaustion before sellers stepped into the market and created this change of character. Now what I'm waiting for is for price to come back into this supply zone, and I'm gonna look for sales on the medium time frame and try to see if price try to sell all the way down, as part of that bearish continuation on the hourly, because we don't have a confirmation if price is going to push all the way up unless it violates the previous high. So if I see that the supply zone is holding, I'm gonna be looking for sales on the lower time frame, at least for scalp purposes. Okay, so that's it for Euro USD. Let's go to the next pair. Our next pair is Aussie dollar, the infamous Aussie dollar, and just like Euro USD, the overall order flow has been bearish. We had this break mitigation, and then finally price took out this major swing low, and now price is doing a pullback towards the supply zone. This supply zone actually found on the daily time frame, so we can see the price tapped that supply zone and then pushed down. Now if we look at it from the daily right here, we can see that we had this push to the upside. So looking at what's going on right here, we can see that okay, the daily had a change of character, right? We had a push to the upside, it respected this demand zone, and we expect to see price continue up to take out the previous high. But what happened is that price is refusing to go above the previous high, so this can be a weak low, right? So if I go down, for example, to 2 hours time frame, what I'll be looking for, what I'm looking for example, on the medium time frame, such as M30, is I'm seeing that the structure is bearish. So we had a break, mitigation, then a second break of structure. I'm waiting for price to come into this supply zone, and then we can sell all the way down as part of the continuation to the downside. But this analysis, this idea, the reason why I'm trying to look for sales is because I'm seeing that price had created this push to the upside, came to the demand zone, and then it failed. It's been struggling to go above the previous high. So this can be a form of high reluctancy, and price wanting to come down and take out this weekly low. So we can find a way to sell on the lower time frame, like I explained. Once price comes to that M15 supply zone, we can go to lower time frame, look for sales, and try to ride the violation of this week low. So that's basically the idea behind New Zealand dollar. Just looking at the structure, that's basically it, because this tends to be very repetitive in the markets. So that's it for us dollar. Let's go to the next pair. GU, another good pair that I like to look at. Let's quickly look at GU. So GU, we don't need to go above the weekly. Just looking at it, we can see we had this high, low, then high, and then boom, a change of character right there. And I think price was way above 61, around 78.6 FIP. So that's a very good zone to start to sell from. Now this is a weekly / daily structure, because the point of interest is actually found on the daily, somewhere here, where price started to have this reaction, this bearish reaction right here. So if I come down, for example, to 2 hours time frame, what I'm still waiting for on GU is that we had a break, price broke structure, and then it pulled back. It didn't come to this order block, it just simply pulled back before it created another high. So price now just tapped this demand zone. So I'm not fully convinced that GU is very bearish as of now, because I would love to see if price is going to take this previous low. That's when I'm going to be kind of comfortable to start to sell. Because what happens is that sometimes in the markets we have a situation like this, where price breaks structure, this previous high, it pulls back a little bit, and then it breaks structure again, but it leaves this order block unmitigated, when it did this pullback before it broke structure again, and price tends to use this low as inducement to come into the order block, and then we have a continuation to the upside. So this can be the scenario that is going on GU. We're not sure. We're going to have to monitor the reaction. So that's why I want to see if this demand zone is going to hold. If we see a violation, that's when I'm going to sell. Okay, so as of now, what we got to do is just monitor the reaction. If we see, for example, on the, let me drop down to M30. if price happens to, because the medium time frame is still bearish, but if price happens to break above, then we can start to look for buys, maybe a continuation to the upside. But if it violates, we're gonna continue with the sells. Okay, that's it for GU. Next pair. So our next pair is the New Zealand dollar. New Zealand dollar is, I mean, if we go to weekly, it has the same order flow as Euro USD, Aussie dollar as well. Order flow is pretty much very, very bearish. I mean, if we look at the monthly, for example, let me quickly go to monthly. We can see that we had this nice break, mitigation, and then break. I mean, price has been trying to take out this monthly previous low. So that's the overall idea. Now, price, now what it did is just, we had a break and price just came into this buy to sell week. This is on the monthly time frame. But if you go to weekly, we're gonna see a much clearer candle. We have this less bullish before the bearish candles that created the break of structure. So price is right now reacted off the supply zone. And if I drop down to daily time frame, the structure is still bullish, right? So in the daily, we still have a bullish structure because price broke structure to the upside. It did a mitigation somewhere demand zone here, and then we have another break of structure. Now we have two demand zones, this one and this one at the extreme. This action I'm finding on the 4-hour time frame. We have this nice, down candle before the up move, and we have loads of imbalances still at this extreme. And we can consider this to be like a liquidity that price is still forming, so price can decide to come into this one and see if we're gonna have a continuation to the upside or just a violation. Okay, so what I'm waiting for as of now is to see the reaction in this demand zone. If we get this is on the 4-hour, if we get an M15 change of color to the upside, we're gonna look for buys. Okay, because we want to follow what the 4-hour stands. So 4-hour is, as of now, is bullish. We're gonna try, if price starts to respect the demand zone, the 4-hour, and gives us M15 change of color to the upside, we're gonna look for buys. Simple as that, guys. Okay, let's move to the next pair. Our next pair is Euro Aussie. That's the pair that I chose to bring into this outlook. I mean, Euro Aussie has a very good price action. I know for a lot of people, or most brokers, Euro Aussie has huge spread. But if you have Xness like zero spread account, I mean, you're gonna find it at 0.0 spread. So it's a very, very good pair to consider. So we have this break. We had a break of structure to the upside. Price came back, mitigated this very, very clean order block. Okay, so we had a break. Price came back to mitigate the order block. We have a second break of structure, and then we have this zone. Now, on the long term, what I'm expecting to see is price to come down to this weekly demand zone right here. Okay, that's on the long term because we are on the weekly. Now, if I go to daily time frame, price is still pushing up. So lately I've been focused, I was looking during this week, I was looking at the 4-hour price action. So the 4-hour price action, I mean, Euros is still bullish, relatively bullish, because we had this break, we had this push down before price broke structure, and then it pulled back, created another break. And price used this low as inducement to react at this demand zone and start to push to the upside. So what we did next, we dropped down to medium time frame, such as M30. So on the M30 time frame, we can see that the overall structure is still, I mean, is bullish. We can see this nice order flow break. Price comes back to demand zone, respects, break of structure again. I mean, let me just quickly mark right here. This was another break of structure. So price had broke this structure, mitigated demand zone, broke structure again, came back to this decisional demand zone, and now it's making its way up, right? So once price came to this demand zone, I mean, we could have gone to 5 minutes right here. So on the 5 minute, there was a very, very nice entry right here. I mean, if you guys look left, this was a trade that I sent to one of my clients on a one-on-one signal service. So this is what I sent to her. That's a lady, very good lady. So I sent this buy setup because we were looking together at Euro Aussie, And I mean, you can see it was accurate, right? The signal, it was very good trade. She ended up entering right here at this demand zone and sell all the way up. She is actually funded with 100K, so congratulations to her. So yeah, this was a beautiful signal. I would have entered personally at this one. I didn't take this trade as well. I didn't take this one. She took the one that I sent, which was off the change of character. But the strategy that I like to teach is to wait for the second break. So I would have entered beautifully right here. And you guys can see it's a 1 to 7, you know. And this trade didn't take much. It was just from this, from the entry all the way to TPE. It was about right here about 2 hours, right? Just to get in and get out, right? Beautiful 1 to 7, right? And this is what we do consistently on a weekly basis. So that's it, guys, for the outlook. I hope I made the point clear with this breakdown of some of the pairs that we're gonna be monitoring during the week. I hope you guys have an incredible new week ahead. Just make sure to keep the consistency. And if you guys are interested in the signal service as well as the SMC mastery course, feel free to contact me. My contact is in the description box below, and let's chat. Okay, let's chat, let's work, and let's get this money, right? So I'll see you guys next time. I would love to remind you guys of the Discord group that we have, the Califax Trading Academy, where you're gonna have access to the full SMC mastery course. So if you guys are looking for a strategy that can provide you a high risk to reward ratio, short period of times in the charts. I know a lot of people don't want to be on the charts for that long. They just want to be able to have a simple strategy, simple scalp that they could just come, get in and get out, right? So I actually built this course right here, the SMC Mastery course, for that reason, to help a lot of people to dramatically increase the risk to reward ratio, so you don't have to be on the chart as much. And it's very profitable, very, very good strategy. And so if you guys are very interested in joining the mentorship, I actually have the 3 months membership, which is absolutely affordable. We have the yearly also that is affordable. So if you guys are interested, make sure my contact is on the description box below. That's the Telegram direct message that you have. So feel free to chat with me anytime, and you guys, we're gonna work together, right? So that's it, guys.